One. All right, what's up? It's your boy K Blind Hood X from Hood X Radio, and today we got a special guest in the building. This is a this is not just an artist. This is a well I'm gonna explain it. You know, I'm gonna let him explain it for you. But this is not just an artist. A very intelligent, very smart. This is very rare you find in today's music going on. This is somebody who has actually music with a message. So I want to make sure that we give him a lot. I want you to give him your full attention and pay attention to what he has to say because he has a message that he's trying to get across. So whatever you're doing, you stop what you're doing and just take a second and listen to a very special artist we have on the line today who goes by the name the Shred Master General, aka BK Blaine. BK Blaine, what's up, bro?
What's up, man? I don't even know what to say after an introduction like that. Thank you.
No problem, man.
That's
I just want to make sure you get a proper
that's a lot to
introduction.
live up to.
Did I say
Sorry?
anything wrong? I didn't say nothing wrong, did I? I didn't say anything
No,
wrong.
not at all. It was just it made me feel humbled.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you. Well, you know, I know you got a message. I listened to a lot of your music recently over the past couple of days, and I know you got a music with a message. And I want to make sure you know you just had a proper introduction because I know your music kind of is more like a music with a purpose. I seen you had some music you did like a march against corporate corruption. I seen you you know I seen you do something. You was reading a story that was written by an inmate. You know, I listened to your song "Breathe." You're talking about compassion and you know life compassion. So I've been you know over the past couple of days I've just been listening to your music and really getting into it. And I really just want to give you a proper platform, you know, to say what you had to say, you know, because your music is really special.
Oh, thank you so much. And honestly, I'm so flattered. You know, you guys, I'm into your show, and to hear you guys are jamming to it, and yeah, I mean, you know, we just want to spread the word. You know, be better to people, love. You know, don't hate, and you know, yeah, corporate corruption and government corruption, all of that, and especially in the wake of George Floyd death and what's going on, Breonna Taylor and all of that. It's tough what's going on right now, and people do need to, you know, unite and fight what's wrong. I mean, we're big believers in that.
Right, yeah. Well, I saw your song "I Can't Breathe." Well, you got a song called "Breathe," and you got another song called "I Can't Breathe." So I want to be clear, but on the song
Right.
"I Can't Breathe," you had the one with you know, they where you had George Floyd. You know, you were talking speaking about George Floyd and things about Trump and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
your music is real politically, you know, inspired. And I was just trying to figure out, you know, like what type of I won't say what an influencer, but like what it's one thing to have a thought to do a song like that, but what was it really that made you actually get up and actually write the song and record that song?
Anger, just angry at what we saw. You know, it's like, when are police going to stop killing black people? You know, really, just anger at that. You know, and just anger at things that are going on in society that should be changed. You know, I think part of the problem is most cops are dudes that just got out of high school and they want to kick some ass, and that's why they get into the job. And I understand it needs a confident personality, and a lot of police protect us, but at the same time, if you're going in there for the adrenaline instead of to help people, of course you're going to end up making people listen to you and on a power trip. And, you know, that just needs to end. It needs to stop.
Right, definitely. And it's one thing too. A lot of people, you know, feel a certain way, but it's really admirable that you getting up and actually doing something about it and actually taking time to record the music and putting it out there and push it like that. That's the difference between, you know, it's a lot of people to talk, but it's another thing to actually get up and do something. And that's I was trying to figure out, you know, what do you think the difference is between you that makes you actually want to act versus, you know, the other people who just talk.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm more angry about it. I don't. Maybe I got more time on my hands. I don't know.
Right.
but but you know, there are a lot of people doing things. I mean, look, this is the first time after George Floyd, you really, I mean, you had people marching in the street after Michael Brown and Eric Garner. I mean, this isn't the first time this has happened. But after George Floyd, we were all out there, you know, and people were burning shit, and people had to listen. And a lot of states are now looking at their police and re-examining how they do things, and that's a good thing. I mean, sometimes we do need to go out and march in the streets to make the change. You know, I mean, Martin Luther King had to march in the streets to make a change, and he did. And you know, this is another one of those times that I think society needs to get together and, you know, put out the message everywhere we can. And even if not a lot of people are listening to the song, I just want to be like, yeah, I'm with you. You know, like, this is what I believe, and maybe somebody hears it. You know.
Right. That's dope, man. That's real dope. And I see, I see that you it's like mind you, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first cut on your music, the first thing I thought I was listening to, I was like, man, that sound like Ice T. Like I heard like an
I
Ice T type influence too. I grew up listening to a lot of Ice T. And then I was listening to you had a song Mumble Rap where you actually had named off everybody that inspired you. You said Chuck D, Kumo D, Schoolie D, Eric B, Ice
yes.
T, NFL Takes a Knee, Run DMC. You had Africa Bambaataa up there.
Damn, dude,
You had
you
Grandmaster Flash. Then you had the Nucleus, Ice Cube, Easy E. You had Tupac and Big, all comprehensible, all
none of them
intelligible,
drank
all
weed.
understandable. So like I see that like the people that influence you and the type of music you make go hand in hand. So I understand, I can see the influence, but I was just wanted to ask you, as far as just music wise, it's a lot of stuff you can make music about. You can make a love song, you can make a song for the club, you can make a song, for pretty much anything. What made you want to make this type of revolutionary music, with a message and stuff like that? And also too, do you make other type of music like maybe a love song or like other stuff like that, or or is it all geared just toward? Because like everything I heard from you was just like it was just geared toward like it was more like consciousness and trying to wake people up. Like, have you ever made just like a simple, maybe like a love song or something like that just that like just something to pass time?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've written a song for my girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
It's even better than flowers. But yeah, I do some love songs and stuff, but not as much. Like I do tend to write what's in my heart, and I guess lately, I watch a lot of news, and I guess this is just what's been in my heart. And the other thing is, yeah, those influences. I mean, growing up on Public Enemy and Dre and all that, their music was always pumped up. It wasn't a lot of love songs. It
Right,
was
of course. Yeah,
so.
I totally get that. That's why I wanted to, go through your references first, because like, yeah, they don't make love songs like that either. But I was just curious, as far because I totally get the inspiration and why that type of music. But I was just wondering if as far as your music, if it's is there always about a message? Is it always about a message with you? Because like I've noticed, like all of your music is always a message in it, and
Nah,
is that true? Like is that fair to say that you don't feel right putting out a song without a message in it?
no, I mean, I'd prefer to have a message. I think the best songs have a message, but it's like 75%. I mean, we've got songs that are, party songs just about, drinking and dancing and being in the club. We've got songs like that too. So, especially live, when we play, those are the songs that get people jumping, you know?
Right.
And in between those songs, that's when we do the political stuff. And nobody wants to go to a live show and get lectured, but we still give them some thoughts.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because I've never personally been to your live show, but I did watch it. I think I watched like 2 or 3 of your live shows on YouTube, and it looked like a totally different experience from like sitting at home listening to it. Like it looks like your live experience is crazy.
Yeah, we try. We got several rappers on stage, which makes it fun. We got at 3 rappers. We got a hype man, drummer, bass, live bass. Another guitarist. So yeah, it makes it exciting. I think having the live drums is also cool. It's different. I mean, we still got the computer stuff underneath, but yeah, it's definitely fun. I mean, I love being on stage, man. There's nothing like it. I mean, it's like mainlining adrenaline. Like
Yeah.
it's really fun, especially when the crowd's getting into it and loving it. And the guys in the band, they're the best guys in the world. The guys that I work with. I mean, they're my my best friends, and we all get to work together and do this together. There's nothing like that.
Yeah. Is are you guys got any upcoming shows? Is COVID still has COVID affected your live shows, or are you still trying to work through it?
Now, yeah, we haven't played out in months, and it could be a while. Like we were planning a show in April, and then that fell through because of COVID, and now, yeah, we're just all at home. Like like the best we could do is like have a barbecue, and have some friends over, but nobody's doing nothing.
How do you feel
It's just
about
the way it is.
like if you did have an opportunity to go perform live right now, like do you feel comfortable going to go do live performances? You know, with the because you know it's basically like a second wave that they're saying coming. Like, do you still
Yeah,
feel
I'm.
comfortable? Are you at this point comfortable to start going out to perform yet, or you still going through the quarantine phase yourself?
Yeah, me, I would be comfortable. I'd get on, but I'm on stage, so I've got some distance.
Right,
I'd be
right,
worried
right.
about the people in the audience. So I think right now it's a little irresponsible. Like, let's give it another couple months. Let's hope there's a vaccine. Let's, wear our masks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everyone just needs to protect themselves. If we could just hang in there a little longer, we can maybe get back to normal.
Right, right, right. That's yeah. Some people have been going performing live anyway, and then you got some people who don't go anywhere. So it's I've seen both, both sides of that. So and me personally, I'm not going anywhere, but I've seen certain artists they just die hard. They want to go out there and perform anyway. So but I've seen your live
Yeah.
show. I've seen your live show, and I've listened to your music, and I would think that with your music, it is probably a lot better to see it perform live. It's a lot like the old school hip hop stuff like that. Like when you see it live, it's just like wow.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we try. Like that's like we really do want to put on a great show. Like we practice really hard, and everyone like that is important to us. Because we've all been to like a shitty show, especially with an unsigned band. You're always expecting amateur night, and we really want to do something special. So
Okay,
yeah,
right, right, right.
but yeah, I just. I hope we can do it. I'm like you, man. I'm at home all the time now too. It's just like, if like I barely have any social life at all anymore because of the disease.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think what you're doing with your music, I think I've listened to your music. Another thing too, I was asking you, I was asking you earlier about your different styles of music. I think that when you're in your zone, like I've the YouTube algorithms work a certain way. When you click on one, you watch the next one, you watch the next one. So they kind of suggest,
Uh-huh.
hey, check this one out. So the ones I listen to, when you're in your zone, man, you're great. Like, and I think that if you really focus and stayed in that zone, and can keep putting out that type of music, I really think that like, it's a lot of certain things that become a distraction. When you're in your zone, bro, you're brilliant. Seriously, like I
Well,
really think that
yeah.
and mind you, I would take a step and just take a step back real quick and just ask you some real basic questions too. For those who don't know, where are you from originally? So like, where did you grow up?
Virginia. Yeah, I grew up just outside D.C.
Okay, okay, and so and that's where you're at now still.
Yeah. I moved. I used to work for the State Department, believe it or not. So I've been living all over the world. I lived in China for a while, lived in Vietnam, but I finally made it back stateside now. Yeah, I'm back in Virginia, and it's nice. It's nice to be back in the U.S. I'm close to my family, and I mean things are a little messed up in the U.S. right now, but hopefully I can be part of the good fight to correct that
Right, right,
in
that's
some
great.
small way.
So, and I wanted to ask you too. So, how did you end up with a PhD in was it
Oh,
sociology or is it
yeah,
psychology?
yeah. Sociology, just a long story. I'm one of those educated fools, like where it's just like I ended up in school and like I don't know, it's a long story, but whatever. Actually, in retrospect, I probably should have gone with my rap name as like Dr. K, but I didn't think of it at the
I,
time.
yeah, I've never met a rapper who actually had a PhD. I think you're definitely the first rapper I met
uh,
with an actual PhD. That's not something you hear every day. So, I mean, is that do you use your music to like is your music teaching you or is it I'm not saying this right. Is it more about the teaching and the music or is it more about the music to you?
Oh, it's both, but it's always more about the music. No one's gonna listen to the lyrics if the beat isn't kicking, right? Like, I
Right.
mean, like I love Public Enemy not because of their message, but because of their music. But then their message, like I listened to the lyrics and it spoke to me. I think the music's the most important part, you know. But but I enjoy writing lyrics. I enjoy talking about social issues. I mean, it's definitely something which interests me. And yeah, I mean, the PhD, like you don't want to sound pompous or whatever. I mean, it just means I spent more time in school. That's really all it means.
All right, okay, okay. That's a humble approach, I guess, to looking at it. That is not an easy accomplishment by all means.
well,
I tip my
well,
hat to
well,
you for it.
Thanks, man. And also, you can see it gives me some lyrical ammunition when I'm criticizing the mumble rappers.
Right, right.
I've got the vocabulary to be like, now go get a dictionary. That's
Right,
kind of
right. You
fun.
actually got dissed by somebody with a PhD, so that's actually like that actually means something. So
Yeah,
tell me about this
I
song.
hope so.
So tell me about this song Fairmont, because I listened to it, and when I first sat down in front of my computer, I cut it on. I listened to it for about halfway into it, and I cut it off. I was like, this is totally wrong. This song is like for the car. So I literally put it in my
Yeah, yeah.
phone, and I jumped in my car and cut it on and drove down the street. I was like, okay, this sounds way better in the car. So this is definitely like a song for the car. So tell me about
Yeah,
Fairmont.
it's it's a driving song. It's our. It's funny. I said to Will, my partner in rhyme, I was like, Mr. Creative, who I should give a shout out to because he's just a great guy and incredible talent. And anyway, I was like, we need to do the radar love of rap. Like, we need to have a driving song. And I remember growing up in high school, my brother had a Ford Fairmont, but it had like a V6 in it. So it was like a powerful car. And we just drove around tearing stuff up, smashing mailboxes, giving everyone the finger. Like just, we were just out to create, like little urban terrorists because we were just, angry at the hypocrisy of our teachers on power trips and the way the cops treated us. And we were just,
Right,
kind of
right,
like 98, the Public Enemy song, Out That Window, Middle Finger for All. That was just us at that age. And it was kind of
Rebel
reliving
without a
that.
cause.
Yeah, exactly. Rebel without a brain.
Right, right, right. I went through that phase. So yeah, so
Yep.
this song, you said traffic's all backed up, cars all stacked up. This song give me road. I get road rage. So like, this is a
We
perfect
all
song for
do.
me. This song, I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, this is perfect for me. People go jump in my car and get terrified. So when I put this song on, it just helps add to the experience. So so what? So tell me about your production too. Who does? Are you guys doing all live instruments, or is it like who does your production?
It's it's a mix. Uh, Before we were with Sean Russell, he was our producer. We were at Blue Room Studios in Virginia. But the song Fairmont we did with a fella named Judah on the beat. Just fantastic producer, and he's worked with everyone. I mean, like Mary K. Blige, like I can't remember who all, but he's got a list. And it was great working with him at his studio, the Science Lab. Yeah, a fellow named Judah. He's great, and it was great working with him because he'd come in there and he'd be like, "Yo, Blaine, you got to change this lyric. You got to, you're not hitting this hard enough here." He really, it was hard work working with him because he's a perfectionist. But in the end, I think we got the product where we wanted it. So,
Yeah, sometimes that's
yeah,
what you need too as a perfectionist help guy. That's it's like lifting weights. Sometimes somebody spots you. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And this guy Jude also, he is a weightlifter. He's a big bad guy. So he'd come in and he'd be like, "This isn't kicking it." You're like, "Yes, sir. Let me try again."
Yeah. No problem. No problem. So I want to ask you too, if if you could put out any of your because I was looking online, I saw your YouTube page and I saw a lot of the press, but your social media, you have an Instagram, Facebook. I saw your Facebook
Yeah,
likes page, but I also saw your Instagram. I saw your YouTube, but it was when I went in to look for it, it was kind of difficult to find. So what should people type in specifically to find you on the internet?
I think the best thing to do is type in BK Blaine rap. Just
Okay.
BK Blaine rap or Chain Bridge rap. Either of those, that's the best way to find us.
Okay. BK Blaine, the Shred Master. Yeah, right. Last question, but I almost forgot. So they call you the Shred Master. So you obviously play the guitar, I'm guessing. Is there any other instruments that you play?
I play keyboard. I can play almost any guitar shaped instrument. So I can play bass. I can play a little sitar and things like that. But it's mostly guitar.
Okay,
But
cool,
but
cool,
I play
cool.
piano on some of the songs. Like yeah.
You incorporate this stuff in your live performance too,
Oh, always, of
obviously.
course. And it's a moment for the crowd too, because we're kind of like Prince. Like I'm rapping and somebody hands me a guitar, and now it's like a moment for the crowd, which is kind of nice.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I only got to see so much on YouTube, but one day I'm gonna have to put this on my bucket list. I'm gonna have to come see the Shred Master in a live show.
Bro,
I have to at some point before I check out of here. I'm gonna have to
you
see you perform live.
you do that, and all your drinks that night are on me. That would be an honor.
We're gonna have to make it happen. I'm gonna have to get out to Virginia. We're gonna have to make it happen. We're gonna have to make it happen.
Let's do it.
All right, so if you
Absolutely,
can
man.
do me one last favor, man, if this is Hood X Radio, if you just give a proper introduction to your song, we're gonna jump right into it.
All right, man. Hey, first of all, thanks so much for having me. This has been a real pleasure of an interview. You're such a nice guy, and yeah, I'm BK Blaine with Chain Bridge, and this is Ford Fairmont. You know, crank it up, hit the gas, enjoy.
All right, this Hood X Radio. Let's get right into it.